But before I talk about evaluation, somebody said, don't evaluate a rotten apple, which means, boy, if you got a bad program, don't evaluate it or you're in terrible trouble. So I've come up with 10 requirements for an effective program. So think about these things and say, in the programs that are presented in your organization, are you meeting these particular requirements, which means a quality program? And then when you evaluate, you're sure that it's going to be effective. Number one, is it based on needs? And you have to be sure that you base it on the needs of the people who are attending. And this kind of starts with, we start with the results. Companies start with what results are we looking for? What kind of behaviors do we need? What kind of learning do they have to learn in order to do it? And so on. So we start with the needs, saying when we conduct programs, people who are attending have need for this program because it will help them improve their performance. And then we have to convert those to objectives. So are they aimed at objectives that we say these are the things we're trying to accomplish? Are they scheduled at the right time? They ought to be at a time when people that you're aiming at can attend, or people, if you're doing it on the computer or through electronic, that they will be able to listen at that particular time and look at the computer. And the right time is the right time as far as people who are attending are concerned, and their bosses, too. Keep those in mind. And it's held at the right place. Do you have the good facilities for it? Conducted by an effective leader, and perhaps this is the most important one at all. If they're instructor-led programs, they better be effective leaders who can communicate well, who are well prepared, and other characteristics. Using effective techniques. Are they using up-to-date techniques? Right now, of course, in the U.S., PowerPoint is the thing. I still like to use the overhead projector and a flip chart because I think these are effective techniques of getting across what I'm trying to do and what the presenters are trying to do with their PowerPoint. Then we have to accomplish or reach these objectives. Let's be sure these objectives are reached. And then the 9th one is a very important one, that the participants are satisfied. They go back to their job and saying, I'm glad I came. You should have been there, and so on, because that is very important, because they're our customers, and they better be saying good things. If they don't say good things about it at the Management Institute at the University of Wisconsin, they're not going to come back, and we're going to be out of business. Now, in your organizations, maybe they don't pay a fee or anything, but when they go back to their job, somebody's going to say, how was the program? And you better hope for your job's sake that they're saying it was a good program. I'm glad I went, so on. And then number 10 is the program is evaluated. So these are the 10 things to think about when we think about what can we do to prepare for the programs, to be sure they're quality programs, so that when we conduct them, they are effective.
Now, Don talked about his original 3 purposes of evaluation, to consider whether you continue programs or not, to improve programs, and to demonstrate value. And I believe he uses the words justify the existence of training and learning professionals. I have found that there are 3 additional purposes, at least 3 additional purposes for 4-level evaluation. One of them is to ensure compliance. Now, when Don came up with his 4 levels in the 1950s, the word compliance was not a biggie when it came to business and industry. We all know that it is a major consideration today, and that evaluation is critical to ensure that compliance is taking place, particularly at level 2 and sometimes even at level 3. Another purpose that is probably my favorite of all, favorite because I think it's the most powerful, and favorite because it's underutilized, is that evaluation can maximize training effectiveness. And by this I mean that if you use evaluation in a right way, in a prudent way, particularly at level 3, what you're going to be doing is reinforcing new behaviors on the job. And if people learn things, from a level 2 perspective, and they go back to a job and there is little or no level 3 evaluation, you are losing the major component to reinforcing those behaviors that will increase the likelihood that the behaviors will become business as usual, thus leading to the results that your stakeholders have asked you to deliver on. So that's a major one, maximizing training effectiveness. And also, evaluation is very effective in making sure that learning and training are aligned with strategy. That comes down to looking at data and information from level 3s and level 4s particularly.